Hello everyone. In this video we shall discuss about the inductive effect. So if you are new learners of organic chemistry, you have to know the basic concept of organic chemistry, and inductive effect is very important. And before you watch my video, there are certain things that you have to know. If you are a beginner, you should always try to practice and never depend on my videos, never depends on any of the educator fully, because all the educators, included me, we take the help of text. So your text is the best teacher of your education. So video is very important for the quiet revision, but your text is more important. So you should not watch my videos before learning any of information from your text. You try to learn from the text and come back to the videos, because we will be discussing, and I'll be discussing only the cryptic notes, which is very important, and it will be very helpful for you too. And another point you have to keep in mind is, especially in organic chemistry, if you are following my text, if you are following my videos, you have to watch my videos from starting till end. You should never do that. You should watch my inductive effect and you watch another hybrid conjugation to another notes and another videos and another informations to another videos. If you read all, if you listen all, you may get confused and you will never understand anything, because organic chemistry is something like it is a family chain. Okay, some educator may use another trick, I will use another technique. So you have to watch my videos religiously if you are following. If you are not watching, you just go out, right? And I wish and all the best, and I hope that you can take your notes, you can take your pen and practice and make your own notes, right? Okay, so since we know that carbon has a tetravalent bond, that you should keep in mind. So the permanent polarity that develop on the carbon atoms, permanent developed polarity, that means the movement of sigma electrons in carbon chain due to attachment of search group, which is either more electronegative or less electronegative than the carbon. It's called inductive effect. So when the carbon is attached with a high or less electronegativity, then there is a permanent displacement of electrons movement takes place. Such properties are called inductive effect. And one point important is, inductive effect arises due to electronegativity in the atoms. That's very important. So if the distance of carbon chain is more, then the inductive effect decrease. That point is very important. And the same electronegativity atoms, there is no polar and there is no electronegativity. Example like hydrogen, same electronegativity atoms, there is no polar bond, no electronegativity, no inductive effect, right? And there is no inductive effect between the carbon and hydrogen, but there is a high level of electronegativity and high level of polarity between the carbon and halogen group and hydrogen and X group, right? So if the carbon or hydrogen end of this is attached with this is carbon, right? Carbon is attached with halogen group, which is more electronegative, then the bond movement is toward the chlorine or fluorine, bromine or iodine. This is halogen group. So this is the example of electronegativity. Electrons always like to stay closer to the more electronegative atoms. Example like we always want to stay with the parents, right? Something like that. The electron will always move toward the more electronegative atoms. Displacement of sigma electron is called inductive effect, right? So inductive effect is two types. One is negative I effect and plus I effect. So what is minus I effect? So before I read, you please watch this structure. This is not a complete structure, not a balance, but here I'm just This is a carbon, hydrogen, and fluorine. Carbon is tetravalent, but the thesis I'm just adding H. Okay, so don't get confused. This is just to explain the concept. So if you have a methyl alkyl group attached and a halogen group attached, so when the chlorine is attached with the carbon, which is high electronegativity than the hydrogen atom attached to the carbon, then the electron will shift toward the more electronegative atoms. Chlorine. Example like here also same chlorine. When the fluorine is attached, when X group substituted is attached with the carbon, which is high electronegative than the hydrogen group attached, then electron will shift toward more electronegativity. Then such type of properties is called minus I effect. Right? Similarly, when the substituted group attached with the carbon, which is less electronegative than the hydrogen atom, this carbon that attached to the compound that attached to the carbon, which is less electronegative than the hydrogen, then the electron will move toward the carbon. Then it will donate the electron, and when it donates, this carbon will become partially negative. Right? But here in the minus I effect, since the electron is pulled toward the chlorine, because it is more electronegativity, then this chlorine become partially negative charge and carbon become partially positive in minus I effect. But in plus I effect, since this alkyl group is donating the electron to the carbon become partially positive charge. So this is the overall concept of the minus I effect and plus I effect. So in the minus I effect, if the group or atom attached with the carbon chain is less electronegativity than the hydrogen bonded, electrons shift toward the carbon and it acquires partially negative charge. Such inductive effect is called plus I effect. Right? See, so the alkyl substituted group that attaches with the carbon is less electronegative than hydrogen, then it will donate the electron. Then this carbon become partially negative charge. So the greater the minus plus inductive effect, I effect is also called electron donating group or electron releasing group. Okay, the greater number of carbon atom of alkyl group, greater will be its positive charge. So example like if the I'll come back to if the attachment of this group is more alkyl group, the more carbon alkyl group, they will donate more electron to the carbon in plus I effect. So this is the one. Here this is the carbocation. So tertiary carbocation is a more CH3 group, it will donate more, and primary secondary and primary and methyl, right? Because it is more number of carbon, 1 in tertiary 1 2 3, in secondary 1 2, and primary only 1, right? So this is the increasing order of plus I effect. So if you are asked which is more stable, two compounds given, this is carbon number 1 2 3 4, right? Chloropytanol, because 2 chloropytanol, because carbon number 2 chlorine is attached, this is chloropytanol, and 3 carbon number chlorine, 3 chloropytanol, right? But here this all are minus I effect, but which is more stable? B is more stable because it has been far away from the OH group, and carbon number 3, this is more stable. So with increasing the distance, inductive effect decrease. But important point is when the carbon chain is more than 4, if it is 5, there will be no inductive effect. Okay, so this is just for information. The group which attract electron density, so minus I effect because it pulls the electron, and which donate is called plus I effect. Donate. When you donate, you become Blasian, something like that, right? So give the comparison of the following minus I effect. Because this type of question is very frequent in any type of competition examination where the concept of organic chemistry is included. Then we give the compound and ask to arrange the I effect order, right? So these 3 points will be able to solve this. See, number 1 is electronegativity increase from left to right in the periodic table. Example like in p block elements, if you see the p block from group number 13 to 17, the electronegativity increase 13 to 17, right? Carbon, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, example like that, or aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. So if you go from left to right in a period, electronegativity increase. When the electronegativity is increased, inductive effect also increase. That means minus I effect increase. But if you move from top to bottom in the periodic table, electronegativity always decrease, and the I effect also decrease. That's why I told electronegativity is due to inductive effect is due to electronegativity, right? Number 3 point is greater the S character, greater the electronegativity. So definitely the greater the minus I effect. So this 3 point is very important. You should look the periodic table and try to memorize at least p block elements, right? Okay, so if you have this compound, I give all the answer, but just for your understanding, this is an inorganic compound. Iron plus 3 oxygen state is more than plus 2 and iron. So when the oxidation state increase, minus I effect also increase. That's also important point, right? So fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, than bromine, than iodine, because it decreases in the top to bottom, right? Group 70. Effect also decrease. Oxygen and sulfur, right? OH group and thionyl group, SH group. In the period from left to right, oxygen is atomic number 8, sulfur is atomic number 16, but the same are in the group number 6. But oxygen comes first, then only sulfur. So oxygen is more electronegative. Same as oxygen and nitrogen. Oxygen is 8 and nitrogen is 7. But the oxygen is in group number 6, but nitrogen is in group number 5. 15. I mean the oxygen is group number 16 in the periodic table and nitrogen is in 15. So the outermost electron is oxygen is 6 and nitrogen is 5. So oxygen will be more electronegative, same as this. The more the S character means in triple bond is sp hybridized, double bond is sp2, single bond is sp3, right? So here the 50% S character, so it is more than this 33 point S character and 25 point S character. So the greater the S character, the greater the electronegativity and the greater the minus I effect. Similarly, this compare the order of the following minus I effect. All are double bond, but here oxygen is group number 16, nitrogen is 15, right? So this is more than this and this. Same as this, chlorine is more than this bromine and this iodine. Fluorine is more than this two. Nitrogen is group 15 and carbon is only group 14. So nitrogen is more than this. So in this way, this three concept is very important to arrange the minus I effect order. So this is a compound. So if you are asked which is identify the minus and plus I effect in this compound. So since it is a benzene is a plus 2 conjugated group sp2 hybridized, so it will pull the electrons, so it becomes minus, and this is alkyl group, so it donates the electron, same as this, right? So this is the basic concept of the inductive effect. I hope you have learned something. You please practice more question. For more understanding, you have to read the text. Keep smiling, keep learning. Thank you for watching.